Wow. Hello, everyone. Sorry for the delay. I was working out some audio stuff. It's my first time having a guest, but thank you for being patient. Today we have a super special guest. I'm gonna pull up a little bio thing that I made with them. It is Magical Melody. I don't know if you've heard of them before. I hope you have because they're very, very cool and awesome. Um, they're basically just like they have their own magical girl series on TikTok and Instagram, and they are also literally a magical idol that roller skates. I love them so much. So without further ado, here they are. Wait, where is
Can
your
you
turn?
see me?
Wait, did I mess it up? Hold on.
Can you see me?
Hold on. You were right there. Let me hold on. There we go. Is that it? Is that it? Yes. There we go.
I think so.
Sorry.
It's okay. Oh my goodness. Hi.
Huh?
My name is Magical Melody, Bunmira or Miracle, and I'm so happy that I get to be here and hang out with you, Chrissy.
I'm so happy that you're here too. Um, so do you want to give like a little summary? I know I already did, but like maybe just when you started getting into magical girls and like your little journey and everything. And
Yeah.
while you're doing that, I'm going to start setting up my 3D modeling files. So let me make sure that this still looks good. Hold on. You were small.
Yeah, yeah, take your time.
There we go. Okay.
Perfect. So yeah, my name is Miracle. I am known online as Bunmira or Magical Melody. As Chrissy was so lovely to state, I have a Magical Girl series that I started in 2022 called Lyrical Roller Skater Magical Melody. And it is about a magical girl based in Seattle, Washington, who is trying to protect her city and her loved ones from the evil big bad, the King Silencio. But you find out throughout much of the story that there are a lot of twists and turns and a lot of different mysteries that she has to uncover from not only her present, but also her past. And so you follow the journey on to Magical Melody, becoming Magical Melody. It is my passion project. And I started it in 2022 after reigniting my love for magical girls. I had always loved magical girls since I was a child. But this was before I knew that magical girls was a title. But I found myself constantly uh, gravitating to a very specific type of genre, as a lot of us girl fans can be. One of my favorite series growing up was Sailor Moon, and I started watching Sailor Moon when I was a child getting ready for school early in the morning. And I feel like a lot of us millennial magical girl fans have a very similar story checking out Sailor Moon for the first time.
Yeah,
And from
me too.
there, yeah, I forgot, I cannot remember what channel it was now.
I feel
But
like
I
it was
remember
UPN though.
it might have been, yeah.
Yeah.
Waking up every morning at like 6 o'clock in the morning,
Yep,
getting
six
my hair
o'clock.
done, um, watching Sailor Moon. That was my daily routine. And from there, that made me look for other magical girls or other genres that were very similar. Because, like I said, I didn't know that that was the name of what this genre was. Um, from there, I fell in love with Cardcaptor Sakura, Magic Knight Rare, um, a lot of fun classics, and that all of that inspiration brought me here. where I've created Magical Melody. Um,
Yeah.
but from there, I had always had an idea of having a character be an idol. Because I also did really enjoy idols growing up. I
Hmm.
liked um Magical Angel Creamy Mommy,
Oh, yes,
and I liked that
absolutely.
element of a magical girl singing. I was a singer. I got my degree in singing. Um, to say that I would be an idol, I would have never put myself there initially. Um, it happened to happen that way, and I'm very happy.
Yeah, we're all
um,
happy, honestly.
like I was obsessed with K-pop growing up. Um, I was a Gen 2 K-pop stan.
Oh my God, me
And
too.
listen, Gen 2 K-pop girl, really into one time. It's actually funny. I met up with a friend recently from my college days,
Hmm.
and we did think that we were going to become K-pop idols.
Yeah.
Uh, we would practice all the time in
Hmm.
my college's one of my college's like practice rooms, and we thought we were going to be like Cat's Eye. We really did. So it's like really cool actually to see Cat's Eye exist, because
Right.
back in the day, that stuff didn't exist.
Yeah.
But to say that I would have been an idol in this capacity, I never thought about that. That
Mm.
was not something I ever considered, ever. Um, but I love it. It makes me really happy. I always say I'm a magical girl first.
Mm.
Uh, Idol just happened to come along with it. Oh, you're so sweet. um, but I just, I go where things feel comfortable. I knew that I wanted to be a performer of some type, and so it was really cool to take my passion project and my love of performing and singing and bringing them together, and people seem to really enjoy it, which is
Yeah.
nice.
Oh, that's so awesome. So you said that you watched Creamy Mommy, you watched Sailor Moon, Magic Knights Rare Earth, Cardcaptor Sakura, obviously. Um, so
I'm
which of
like watching you
those
do this right now. I'm so sorry. Like I'm so into it.
you can watch it, like that's kind of why I'm doing it, is so that you
I'm
can
like,
be here and witness the birth of a new baton. By the way, that's what I'm doing. If anybody doesn't know, I'm modeling a new baton, brand new baton, because every magical girl needs a baton slash microphone slash wand. Um, and you've had yours for how long?
I was gonna grab it. So I made mine
You can grab it. Yeah,
on a
go grab it.
whim. I made mine on a whim back in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
This was like just as I was starting to post things on TikTok, because I had always had an account
Yeah.
on Musically slash TikTok, but I
Mm.
never did anything on it.
Yeah.
Um, and then there was this big boom of just nostalgia and stuff that was happening
Mm-hmm.
during the 2020 lockdown. And I was really, really feeding back into my magical girl love.
Mm-hmm.
And one night, because one thing you know about me is that I have a lot of random craft items around me at all times. Um, and one night I was like, I have some uh play. I'm just gonna make something with it.
Mm.
And I remember my partner was like, "Oh, are you doing another random late night craft?" And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." And I stayed up all night and I made this. I made my magical baton. I was very, very proud of it. It
Cute.
was like one of the first things I ever like decided to craft out of clay. I had clay, but again, um I didn't know what I was gonna make with
Mm-hmm.
it. You know what I mean? I just had it on me. Um, but I've had this thing since 2020 and it's made out of baked clay. So
Mm.
I'm very scared to take her out. Um, she does show up in a lot of the episodes, but it is always handled with so much care. And
Mm.
everybody else around knows. They're like, this cannot hit the floor. Um, this cannot bump into anything. I baby it so much.
Yeah.
Um, and there has been times actually where pieces of like the wings have broken off and I've had to
Oh
like glue
no.
them back, but somehow she's managed to stay like this. I'm really proud of myself as someone that has ADHD. Like I'm surprised that this has not hit the floor yet. Um,
Oh no.
so I really appreciate you, Chrissy, for doing this for me because when I say there's one thing that gives me a sense of anxiety almost always, it's this.
Yeah, yeah. I want you to be able to, you know, slang it around, take it outside.
Yes, please, please. I don't even take it to like cons and stuff with me anymore
Oh,
because I just get too scared. It's like a
yeah,
spirit stick. It is like a spirit stick.
yeah. Well, I
Definitely a
know.
prized possession, ADHD approved. Yes.
Yeah, I know how much like and I mean like it probably means so much to you now too because it's like it's been with you this whole time and it's like a
Yeah,
symbol of your journey and what you've done and your whole story and everything. So, yeah, absolutely. Let's make this thing durable.
I'm so excited. Like literally I told my partner, I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, their name is Chrissy and they're gonna help me with the wand and blah blah blah. And then she was like, oh my God, thank goodness you have somebody like doing that. Because she knows, she knows that it
Yeah.
is scary
It's been
to
a
take
long
her
time
out.
coming.
Oh my goodness.
You got a question in the chat.
Do I have a YouTube? I do. There's not much on it. I'm gonna be so real. One of my goals this year is to actually put Magical Melody on YouTube. Most of
Oh.
Magical Melody, there is no most. The majority of Magical Melody is on TikTok and
Hmm.
Instagram, because they are filmed in the 9:16 formats.
Right. Yeah.
And I was debating back and forth whether or not I wanted to put it on YouTube. Now that YouTube has shorts and they've extended the length of their shorts, it makes it more easy for me to do that. So one of my goals this year is to put everything there.
Oh.
But I do have performances and stuff up there and a couple of like random little projects. Uh but yeah.
Well, everyone, you heard it here maybe first that that Magical Melody is coming to YouTube finally.
I am also too, this one you do get to hear first. I'm launching a website and I'm hosting all of the episodes on the website.
Oh my goodness.
And there will, and it's my personal website, so I'm very excited for all of the things that are going to happen over there. And there will actually be episodes available on the website that will not be available on YouTube.
Ooh, okay.
So
Exciting.
literally should be launched. I've been saying it for the last like week or two that it's going to launch today. It's very impending. Like I'm so
Yeah.
close.
Oh my gosh.
So close.
Well,
Um
congratulations. That's so exciting.
I'm I've been working on it for a year. So
Oh
I'm
my
very
gosh.
excited.
Yeah, if you can like put it out during February, that would be so sick.
That's my goal,
Yeah.
honestly. My goal is to get it out. And I genuinely feel like, because it's just like I'm working on a few little things right now.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to launch it this week. I wanted to launch it Monday, but it just
Oh,
didn't work
yeah.
out. But it is coming very, very soon. And Candy Cloud, I totally understand. I could not handle the brain rot, and Instagram doesn't have playlists like TikTok does. 1000%.
Yeah.
That's honestly why I've wanted to one, that's why I haven't really been posting a lot. There's been a lot of things that have happened for me to not really update Magical Melody.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's one of the things is like I kind of don't want it to exist solely on social media anymore.
Yeah.
Um, and so that's why I'm happy that I get to have my own space
Mm-hmm.
where I'm just going to like curate this lovely website. Like I want to bring back the idea of finding like a random website online and just being obsessed with it, like a random
Right.
GeoCities or something.
I
That's my goal.
know. That's so cute. I want to do that too, but I don't remember how to code, so I'm like,
Well, there are a lot of websites now that make it easy to make your own website.
okay.
And I use Squarespace,
Mm-hmm.
and it's cool because you can add custom code if you would like to really deck out your stuff, but otherwise they have
Mm.
really easy tools to get started. So
Okay.
highly recommend.
Yeah, maybe I'll check that out. It's also
Yeah.
like, I have some stuff planned for Instagram and I don't want to like get off track.
No, that's so
But
valid. That is so valid.
all right. I think I'm give me 1 second. I'm going to grab my charger. Um Mira, entertain the children.
Yeah, there are my partner, she codes. And so, uh, usually the exchange is I help her with makeup. She helps me with technology because I'm not very well versed in all of this. And she doesn't always do it. It's okay. I love her. But I work on most of the stuff I can do. And then once I'm like, rise, I'm struggling, then she'll come in and like use her code wizard fingers and then goes away. So she could just do it for me, but it's okay. It makes me love it more that I'm doing it.
Awesome. I'm back.
Welcome back.
That was enough entertaining. Thank you.
Yeah.
But yes, I really need to check out the library some more for all sorts of things. I've been really into going there lately. Super fun and chill. They
Mhm.
have everything. I realize how much I miss books.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Is there anything else you want to chat about? I mean, I'm going to tell everyone, I tried to play some music, but it got a little weird. I don't know. I could try again if you guys want some tunes. But yeah, I was denied. It said 404 error.
I told Chrissy this is why I don't stream anymore. I've existed on the internet for a very long time, and before I was posting things on TikTok and Instagram, I
Mm.
used to stream on Twitch
Oh,
um back in like 2015.
dang. I should have gotten
Oh man.
you to get me together.
Oh man, what a time that was.
Mm. What kind of stuff are you
And
streaming?
so this was before they came out with IRL streaming.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would stream myself body painting.
Body painting?
Yeah.
Like what?
Um, full looks of like different characters. I used to do that for years, and there were only a
Oh,
few of us that were here that would body paint and do like makeup.
yeah.
And it got to the point where, and it's really funny, I was actually talking to a friend about this relatively recently because she was like, you remember that time when you used to stream and you used to do makeup and
Mm-hmm.
there really wasn't makeup on Twitch, and then you
Yeah.
got on front page, and I
Oh,
was like, I do remember that. And I do, yes. And I remember me and a couple of other people were promoting
mm-hmm.
makeup on Twitch um, back in like 2015. And
Dang.
then they came out with IRL streaming after
Mm-hmm.
I had left. And I was
Oh,
like, dang, that's crazy.
yeah.
Um, but it was pretty cool. But streaming is a full-time job and
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of effort.
Yes.
So that's why when I see other people still doing it, I'm like, dang, I couldn't do it no more.
See, that's why I was trying to make this like a really chill, low effort thing. But when you said, I'll come on, I said, okay, let me make this a little bit more difficult for myself. Um,
No, you didn't have
no, I
to.
did
I
have to.
no.
This is so cool. I'm so because like me and Mira haven't actually talked. Um, like in person ever.
Yeah,
So this is the first time we're hearing each other's voices, and I thought that this was just like such a fun opportunity, you know? I
I agree.
don't know.
That's why when you were like, "Oh, will you come on and like chat?" And I was like, "Yeah, oh my God. Why not?"
Yeah, I'm sure we
I
can
am
we
a
can find some
yapper.
stuff to talk about to fill the silence.
Oh yeah, no, I'm a yapper. I could yap for forever.
Nice, nice.
Um, Tezzy B, have you ever had a fear of being seen before you launch Magical Melody? If so, how did you handle it? When you say fear of being seen, do you mean like fear of putting my stuff out there, like putting my creative stuff out there, or fear of like just being myself in person? Like what do you mean exactly?
Hmm. I don't know.
Because I think there's two answers to this for me. Um,
There we go. That's nice.
because I would say if it's like launching my stuff, like my creative things, yes, I was a little fearful of showing people my things. But
Mm.
that was why it was nice having creatively, but I would like to hear both. Okay. Um, so before I did Magical Melody, I was actually a full-time makeup artist.
Oh.
And I worked for Sephora as the senior artist. So what that meant was that I had to go around and teach all of the other artists in the region how to do makeup.
Mm.
And the reason why I bring that up is because that was my first real creative outlet other than singing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I used to sing and did that in college. That was my degree. So in many ways, like being myself in front of people, no, that wasn't really hard for me to get over because I had already had to do a lot of things that put myself out there. But at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, I still wasn't really showing people my true self, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of the things I'm singing isn't something that I've created, isn't it's usually a recreation of something. Um, and but it wasn't until I started doing makeup where it was like, oh, my art is being like seen and consumed by other people. And then I'm nervous about that. So what
Mm.
I would do though is that I would push myself anytime I get super anxious or super worried about something like that, I would post it anyway because either I learned most people don't care about you like that, and I don't mean it negatively,
Yeah.
but like most people don't care about you. You know what I mean? You care about you because it's you. But 9 times out of 10, when people see something that you put out there, they're going to say, "Oh, that's really cool that you decided to do that. I wish I could do something like that," you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I got to a point where it was like okay for people to see my mistakes. It's okay to see that my things aren't perfect the very first time I put it out there. To the point now when people see my makeup, they think, "Oh my gosh, how do I get to a level like this?" And it's like, "You didn't see those first few posts I made."
Yeah. Exactly.
And you didn't see how terrible they were back in the day. And if I hadn't pushed myself to just like keep going, then I wouldn't get to the point where I am now, you know? Um, Same with Magical Melody. It was nice having a place like TikTok that existed because I was able to experiment and play with a very like controlled group as opposed to people who knew me personally and could really make an opinion about me.
Mm.
Um, and then once I felt comfortable enough there, then I was able to move it to more platforms like Instagram, where
Mm-hmm.
people who knew me outside of just a screen would then come up to me and tell me their opinion, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but all of that is to say is like I got to a point where it's like I'm anxious, but I care more about this existing than I know that was a lot of words.
Wait, sorry. I think my computer froze for a second. Could you say that last part again?
Oh, I said I got to a point where I realized I'm anxious, but I care more about this art existing than I am anxious.
Right, right.
And I'm still anxious every time I do my things, but I just also continue to do the things I want to do.
Yeah. No, that's great. I mean, I feel very similarly in that I have been uh doing all sorts of art since I was quite young. Not necessarily what's it called? Cosplaying, but
Mhm.
I did my first cosplay was when I was like I think 14 or 15.
Yeah,
And
me
yeah,
too.
and there was no internet there. So I didn't have the pressure
No.
of people seeing and potentially judging me online in a space where, you know, it can live forever if you don't delete it. But
Hmm.
I definitely was just like, this, I don't even care if it's bad. It's fun. And this is
Yeah.
what I love to do. So I'm going to
Hmm.
do it. And I think, you know, I feel kind of sad for kids nowadays. I mean, adults too. Everyone struggles with feeling insecure, but I just feel like there's so much more pressure on you to do it right the first time when
Yes.
that's never been the case. Like
Yes.
all creativity and art is about experimentation and messing up and learning from your mistakes and finding your own path and you know all that stuff that sounds sappy but is actually very true.
No, 100%. Like, I think about now, honestly, like, man, I struggle with my self-esteem, as I'm sure quite a few people do, you know.
Hmm.
Um, but I can't imagine how I would be growing up now.
Yeah.
You know,
The struggle is
I can't
just
imagine.
different right now.
Yes, it's really different.
Yeah. Aw.
So,
Thanks,
yeah,
Lil.
Sappy, I agree. What kind of singing did I do in school? So I have my degree in vocal performance. And I would sing classical. That was my main focus. So I did a lot of operas, did a lot of musicals. Musical theater wasn't an option for a focus at my school.
Mm.
So I mostly um was in classical. Outside of Magical Melody, I actually sing professionally in a Motown trio called the Jewel Tones, and I love it. I love I love singing my old 1960s music. It's great.
Yeah. Let's see
You were a
what
singer
else.
before you became an artist. Yeah, you should sing more. Singing's nice because you can do it anywhere. You know,
Hmm.
there's nothing that's really stopping you from singing, other than maybe bothering somebody next to you. But you can usually choose the right place to sing.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, this is kind of what I would say for all art is like if you're scared you've lost your touch, yeah, you might have, but the only way to get it back is to do it again.
It's really funny. Have you watched Magical Melody?
Me?
No,
Oh.
the person asking the question about how could I go back to doing what I used to love doing? I miss
Mm.
vocalizing and I'm scared I lost my touch, low key. Have you watched Magical Melody yet? The reason why I ask is because that it's really funny. I did not intentionally do this when I first started making Magical Melody, but Magical Melody really does talk about my relationship with singing, honestly. Yes, I have. I've fallen off the episodes because of work. No, that's so fair. Because I was gonna say Magical Melody does touch a lot on my own personal like relationship with singing. Because I was the same way. I went to school for singing. I was one of the top singers in my class. I thought that that was like my thing.
Mm.
And then I was shot down for my master's. I It was kind of crazy too. It was like almost immediate
Dang.
how that happened. And I didn't know until later that the reason why I was not accepted into the master's program was because the people who were in charge had a problem with my voice professor.
Oh no.
And it had
Politics.
ruined me. I did not know that. It kind of, it truly destroyed me. And I didn't know if it changed my relationship with singing a lot,
Mm.
you know, in the music world in general. Um, and I had to rebuild my confidence to even was good enough to sing again. And it's only now, 10 years later, that I'm like, I can sing, you know?
Yeah.
I'm I'm a good singer, but I
Oh.
had to work through so much because there were people who had put me down and I didn't even know why, you know?
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Um, so to answer your question, I miss vocalizing and I'm scared I lost my touch low key. I totally get you. And I got to a point where the music, it did not matter. It was going to come out of me anyway. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Um, and somehow it turned into this whole magical girl story. But the music came out. It can't just be closed up for too long, you know?
Right.
Um, but that was why I asked if you watch Magical Melody, because when I tell people that that story mirrors a lot of my life, it's kind of crazy how it does.
Mm. Yeah.
Like a lot of the plot lines, they tend to match up very, very consistently with how my life is.
Dang.
But I'm so glad Magical Melody came to you. No, me too. It came at a really good time.
Yeah,
I
me
didn't know
three.
that this was I didn't know this was the direction it was gonna go. I had no idea. I just uh went with what felt right. And then it wasn't until my friends and people around me were like, you know, you're just kind of like writing your story, right? And I'm like, what? No, I'm not. And then I went back and looked at it. I'm like, wait,
Dang.
uh-oh.
You got me. But honestly, I feel like that's the way that like the best stories happen,
Mhm.
right? Like you have to pull from personal experience to really like truly what's the word? Portray something to its fullest, right? Having
Mhm.
an emotion behind it makes it feel so much more true and real. And
Yeah,
I think that's a large part of why it connected with so many people.
which it makes me happy. I used to write a lot. Um, I when I was younger, had a huge box. It was huge. And it was full of just all of the stories I wrote,
Hmm.
the worlds I created. There was one main world that I had created. And when I say like I wrote like 200 plus pages
Wow.
of one thing. And I told myself, the person that I marry is going to see this box. And uh just as I was about to show my current partner, who I'm married to now, this box, my family threw it away.
No! Oh my God.
And when I tell you that crushed me, not only did I not get into grad school, this was all the same year. I just realized that. Oh my God. No,
No.
not only did I not get into grad school, but like literally my whole life's like work
Oh
was
no.
thrown away
Oh
because
no.
my family did not understand how important it was to me.
Mm.
Like, I had taken it with me to college.
Oh my
Like, that
gosh.
was how big of a deal it was. Um, and that was actually another thing that almost was like, I could never write again.
Mm.
I heard you talk about this before, and it always makes me so sad to hear. I know I always bring it up because it is still a sore spot to me. It's been like 10 plus years,
Oh
but
no.
I get so sad because I'm like, I wish I could show y'all like the beginnings so
Right.
that you know that Magical Melody didn't start like this. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like, Magical Melody became all of those stories that existed into this. And that was why I was like, I really want the person I marry to see this. But I keep telling myself, you know, maybe I would have destroyed the world if Bryce had seen it or something, you know? Like,
Yeah, it was too you would have been too powerful
Yeah,
if they could see it.
maybe it would have unlocked some secrets or something. So, but it makes me
Oh man,
sad.
I am so sorry. And here I am yelling at my mom because she never throws anything away. I
Listen,
should be
you
way
know,
more grateful.
those little things are nice. I can understand if it's a lot, but it was contained, you know?
Yeah, right.
It was huge. It was a huge box.
Mm.
But yeah, I've heard you, yeah, not the trauma. I know so much trauma, right? But that's how magical girls start.
Yeah, true.
So I guess I'm just
They have to
fitting the
have an
bill,
inciting incident.
you know?
Yeah.
I'm just following on the train. This is why I tell people I'm a real life magical girl. Um, like I say it like figuratively, but the
Mm.
people that know me in real life, they're like, no, but actually she's a real magical girl. I'm like, I know. I tell people, but they don't believe me.
It's because they haven't met one before, so of course they're going to
That's
be
so valid.
skeptical.
That's so valid, actually. Um, but my friends, like, they straight up are like, no, she's actually a real magical girl. I'm like, don't tell nobody that.
Yeah,
But
you're
yeah,
not supposed to know.
yeah.
What about your secret identity?
Oh, do we wear jewel tones colors? Yes, we do. I just saw that comment.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, that's right. You always are wearing jewel tone.
Yes, we do wear the jewel tones. It's really funny though, because everybody is always like, Miracle, it's so weird seeing you in a black wig. And I'm like, I know.
Mm, yeah.
Oh, am I involved in the indie YouTube channel that made Wheels and Roses? I'm not involved with that production, but I do know the creator.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're very nice. It was very sweet because when they started announcing it, I was like, oh my God, another roller skating magical girl. Let's go, you know? And I don't know if they knew I existed before they started posting their stuff, but what I thought was really nice was that they saw me and then were like, "Hey, you know, I want to shout you out as another black roller skating magical girl." I was like, "Oh my God, I'd love that. Thank you."
No, that's so cute.
So, yeah.
Yeah, maybe you'll get like a special feature in the
Oh my
next.
gosh,
That would be so good.
that would be. I know that Haida, who is one of my close
Yes,
friends, her
Spida.
song is in the Wheels and Roses pilot, which I think is amazing. That's
Oh
so
my
cool.
gosh. Yeah, that is amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I worked with Pida a little bit on one of her music videos. I like 3D modeled that little doll of her.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I love that. I love I love how big the world is, but also very small.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like the amount of people that I find out know each other, I'm like, that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Right. And also like you if there's one thing about me, I will fully go out and find another black girl who likes magical girls or like
Oh, that part.
space. So it really is not that surprising that I was like, hey, can I make you something? But also,
Yeah. No, that part for
yeah.
sure.
Oh man. Oh, do you do voice acting?
Me, I
Yes,
don't.
you.
I don't. But I mean, I would. I'd be interested, but I've never done that before.
Yeah. Hey, I if they want me to, I'll go. I'm
Yes, you know?
hyped for anything that they do, honestly. Ah, so cute. Though I do hope that they reach out to you somewhere in the future.
That would be great. Yeah.
That'd be so
Fumi is like very,
cool.
very nice, very sweet. Would love to meet them
Mm.
in person one day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, oh, y'all are so sweet. I love our little community of magical skating lovers. No, like I listen. One thing that I will say that has changed my life above anything else was like roller skating.
Really?
Um, Deciding to do that during 2020, like literally changed my life, which is so crazy because it wasn't that I didn't know how to skate. I used to skate all the time as a kid.
Mm.
Um, but like nothing crazy. Like I didn't know how to skate backwards or anything like that.
Mm.
Um, but my grandma would take me to the skating rink every Saturday and I would skate for 2 hours during their family skate days. And I never thought anything of it. She just took me there, you know?
Mhm.
And I remember as I started roller skating, I asked her, I was like, Grandma, why did you take me to the roller skating rink so often? Like, I remember going all the time. Why did you do that? She was like, I don't know. I feel like you said that you wanted to go. And I'm like, that doesn't sound like anything I would have said back then. That sounds nothing like anything I would have said.
Oh man.
Um, but then 2020 happened. Um, I was really into I love rhythm games. One thing about me is that I'm a do a rhythm game
Mm.
because I love them.
Yes.
And so before the shutdown, or lockdown, I used to go to the Round One arcade here, and I would play DDR and Dance Rush Stardom a lot.
Mhm.
Um, but then once everything closed down, I had like Just Dance at home, which was fine. But I got to a point where I was like, dang, I kind of want to like do Just Dance outside. Like, how do I do that? And for some reason, my brain said roller skating because this was just before the roller skating boom that happened
Mm.
online. So I was like, I'm gonna roller skate. And when I say like that opened up my whole life, I was like,
Wow.
I love this. I love doing this so much. And yeah, I if there's one if magical girls is the thing I love the most, then roller skating is right there.
Oh,
Like they're so close.
yeah, I love that. Ooh, yes. What are your favorite rhythm games?
Oh my god. Okay, so Dance Rush Stardom was one that I was just talking about. So that is a shuffling, like
I've always wanted to do that one.
it's so fun. I love that game. Um Dance Rush Stardom, DDR, Poppin' Music, um who else do I like? I'm like going through all the ones I used to play all the time. Um Dance Around, which is the like I call it the idol one because there are a lot of like idol songs on it. But it like does the full body scan. And so then you can like move your whole body
Hmm.
and it controls or tracks um Pata Pata Paradise.
Ooh,
Those are like my top five, I would say.
yeah. I'm more of a console person. So I am like Rhythm Heaven is my all-time favorite.
Mm.
And Oendan or Elite Beat Agents also
Mm-hmm.
very, very high. I did do DDR for a minute in college, but I also did the Step Mania where you get
Oh yeah.
the USB
Yeah,
dance
yeah.
pad and you like duct
Y-
tape it together
Yup.
so it goes to your
Yup.
computer.
Step Mania. What a good
Right?
time.
Oh my gosh. Beautiful.
I love a rhythm game. The reason why I'm locked into arcade games is because when I was a kid, I used to work at an arcade
Oh.
and it was my first job. And I
Hmm.
got that job because for 2 years before I was legal to work, I was at that place every day.
Yep.
Uh, and then the weekends, I would be there from the time they opened to the time they closed playing
Mm.
DDR. That was all I did.
Yep. That's
I was
that's
crazy.
so funny.
And the manager at the time, every so often would, how old are you? Okay, when you're 16, if you need a job, come back here. And I'm like, okay. And so then when I turned 16, he was like, are you 16? And I was like, I am. And he was like, do you want a job? So that was how I got my first job.
Perfect. I mean, honestly, who better to work there than someone who absolutely loves being there?
Literally, he would joke all the time. He was like, I scouted her 2 years ago. I was like, I know she needs to work here. I was like, yeah, it was a good
Yeah.
job for me. It was a good job. Project Diva, yes, that's a good one too.
Oh yeah, Project Diva.
Yes, yes. Have y'all? Okay, so I know. I guess would it technically be considered a rhythm game? Because I also like puzzle games.
Hmm.
Um, I like Lumines.
Oh yeah.
Lumines. Ooh, I
I
just need
I
to
have
relax.
not played that yet because it's just a little too complicated for me. But
I get that.
it looks amazing. I just play the Tetris, and
Oh
sometimes
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't even like do the Tetris. I just listen to the music.
Yes. No, I love me some Lumines. You've not played that one? It's tech. That's what I'm like. Is it a rhythm game?
It's
Yeah,
like
we.
a combination.
Yeah. And then there was an old one. I don't know if they even still come out with this one called Audio Surf, which is very much a same idea as Lumines, where you
Mm.
can add in your own music and you're like writing in a you're writing in a vehicle
Oh
and
my
you're
God, was
going
that the
in
one where it like it changed to pay depending on what CD you put in?
yes.
Yeah, I always wanted to
Mhm.
play that one.
Yeah. No, that one, ooh, locked in all the time.
Yeah.
I know you love 60s to 80s J-pop music as well. What got you into those type of retro music and videos? Oh my gosh, a rabbit hole. I'm gonna be so for real. Um, there was also another question up here that I feel like I missed that I need to go back to, but I don't see it at the moment. The way that I got into J-pop music, it's so random. So back in 2018, I had a friend, he's a DJ and a bass player. He was obsessed with vaporwave, obsessed. And at the time, I didn't know what vaporwave was. And I remember he showed it to me, and then I got really into it. I remember Bryce did not like it. She was like, I don't care about this stuff. Um, but then I was like, I kind of like it. So then I started listening to a lot of vaporwave. And from there, I found a genre of music called future funk.
Oh, yeah.
Um, yeah. And if anybody remembers artsy music on YouTube, like Rip Artsy Music, but they would post future funk music all of the time. It was nice meeting you, Tezzy B. Um,
Fantasy.
but they would post songs all the time, and what it was is that they if you don't know what future funk is, it is J-pop and some American pop of the 80s, and then they would make disco tracks out of them, like disco and house. And I love that stuff. I thought it was so cool. But it got to the point where I was like, man, what are these original songs that they are making these remixes on top of, you know?
Mhm.
Because I love like what's going on melodically here, and I want to know what it is. And so from there, I went and tried to find what each of these songs were from the edits, and then that's how I found City Pop.
Mm.
And I've been locked into City Pop ever since, which would have been, like I said, 2018, 2019. And then it blew up on TikTok, which was crazy. I was like, oh my God,
Not
this
my
is
niche
so crazy.
genre.
Yeah. I was like, wow. If you've ever seen like edits of like city pop songs or like the future funk disco-y songs and it's got the anime girls, like just like a couple of frames and stuff like that, that's thanks to artsy music on YouTube.
Oh,
That is where that originated from.
gotta pay respects to the
Gotta pay
originator.
respects because Rip Artsy Music, they stopped uploading like probably right after that, like
Ugh,
2020,
yeah.
they didn't upload anymore. And that got me through the day when I'd have to get ready for work. Like I would put on my makeup for Sephora and I would be listening to the music while I would get ready.
Mm.
What a time.
The old days.
Yeah, that's so cool though. Yeah, it was a moment.
Yes.
Skating is very much a Black community thing. I went back and looked. I've met so many people
Mm,
who love roller skating. I think it's to do with the roots of music too. I agree.
yeah.
I still remember. Um, are you making a 3D model of Magical Melodies one? Yes.
Yes, I am. I'm making it a little bit fancier and more Proplica like
That's so exciting.
because I can't help it. I have to do that. But yes, I'm making her wand to honor her and say thank you for being
Please,
awesome.
Chrissy's spoiling me.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, let's see how it turns out.
Oh, it's gonna be amazing.
Oh,
I
yeah,
love all
yeah,
your
yeah.
3D models.
Thank
Like
you.
I had actually reached out to Chrissy last year asking if they would help me with something. So I'm happy.
Regardless of what happens.
Literally, I'm happy. Like we're where I want to be right now. um but back to like roller skating and the Black community. Yes. Roller skating so Black, it is so queer. Uh which is something else I love. And when I was first, because I'm not from Seattle,
Mm,
I moved here after college and everything. And one of the things that was really hard for me, which you would be surprised, but granted, I wasn't living in Seattle. I was living like right outside of Seattle. It was really hard for me to find a Black queer community that I really connected with. It was really, really hard for me to find people like me when I first
mm.
moved here. Um, and once we moved into Seattle proper, that was like I was already really into the skating community that by that point. I was able to meet more Black people as well as just more queer people that has just like enriched my life so much. Which is also probably part of the other reason why roller skating changed my life, because it brought me to my people,
Mhm.
which was very nice. Because before living in Seattle, I used to live in Florida, and I had a very tight knit queer community there. Um, and then even before that, when I was from, because I'm from North Carolina, I
Mm.
went to college there. I went to an all women's college. And so I had a very tight knit queer community there as well. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um, so it was weird coming all the way here to the West Coast and not being able to connect with people. And I found out is because I was living in the wrong spot. I was not in the area where I needed to
Oh.
be. Uh, and now that I am enriched.
Yeah, that's so funny. I mean, I also am like I moved to Atlanta after school and I'm still struggling to like find people that I really connect with and I think
Where'd you move
it's
from?
DC.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think part of it is like I'm not as into the queer community as I would like to be, you know?
Okay.
Because it's like if I'm just into the Black cosplayers, not a lot of them are queer,
Yeah.
and then if I'm with the queer cosplayers, not a lot of them are Black, so it's always this like where
Yes.
where are they, my people? Maybe I just
Yeah.
need to get into roller skating is what really needs to happen.
Honestly, this is one thing I say. If I take my roller skates with me anywhere, I know I have a friend.
Mm.
Like I can literally go anywhere because I travel with my roller skates everywhere I go. Because if a place doesn't have a rink, they've got somewhere outside I can go.
Right. Yeah.
And I get on the plane and people will be like, "Oh, I roller skate. I roller skate at XYZ rink."
Oh my
And
God.
9 times out of 10, because I am obsessed, I'm like, "Oh, I know that rink. I know XYZ person that skates at that rink." And they're like, "Oh my God, that's
Mm.
one of my friends. Oh my goodness. Let me meet up with you guys when we get there," you know?
Yeah.
Um, that is one thing I love about roller skating is I can literally go to a different country and
Mm.
have friends. Like we have connections, and I say we because the Seattle skate community is really tight. We have a lot of connections of people in Japan, like in Tokyo.
Oh, wow.
And it was cool. I didn't get to skate, but it was cool being able to go to Japan when I went last year and message people asking about when their skate nights are. And I don't even know them. And they're like, "Oh my God, please come. We want to see you."
Wow.
It's really cool.
That's awesome.
It's also just really hard to get anywhere in Atlanta without it feeling like an ordeal.
Very true. I
My what were you gonna say, Chrissy?
I was just gonna say, moving from DC, it's like even worse because I would
For
always
sure.
take public transit. And so I didn't even
Mm-hmm.
actually drive until I moved to Atlanta, and then I had to learn trial by fire. Ah.
Atlanta is spread out.
Yeah. And everyone is
I
so scary while they drive.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I have a friend who lived in Atlanta for the past year and they
Hmm.
came back because they struggled to find their community the same way
Yeah.
kind of how you're talking about because they are black and they are queer
Hmm.
and struggled to kind of find the overlap there. So that kind
Yeah.
of just tells me there are more of y'all over there
We
and
just
y'all
can't
need to
find
like,
anybody.
yeah, it's giving y'all are hiding from each other.
Well, I can't help it. I'm an introvert. What do you want from me?
It's giving you're hiding.
Yeah. Okay, okay. I need to go outside more. I get it. I get it.
Honestly, sometimes it's just like, and I don't know, Atlanta's different, I'm from the South, and as much as I love Atlanta, Atlanta's a little quirky, you know what I
Mm.
mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even gonna lie, I find that that is a very quirky city. But I find that sometimes just going somewhere, even if you're by yourself, just showing up makes people want to interact more, you
Mm.
know? Also, too, unfortunately, Chrissy, I know you're introverted, but a lot of times, if you want, you have to create the spaces you want.
Yeah.
And you seem like the type that unfortunately wouldn't have to make it. You know why? Because you're a magical girl.
Ah!
It comes down to us. It
It
I know it
really
sucks.
does. It really does. I know. I mean, look, I'm a little tired though. Can I
No, I
let
get
me
it.
rest for like one year?
I feel it. Like all the events and stuff that happen here, I'm
Mm,
like, I don't want to make these things. I just want to show up.
yeah, but you have to kind of you do have to kind of do it. I mean, and
I
that's
have to
kind of
do it.
honestly kind of why I'm doing this stream, right?
Hmm.
Because I feel like this is a low stakes way for me to uh dip my toe into organizing little events
Absolutely.
for people. It's a little bit uh, less work, less stress than an in-person one. But I mean,
Yeah,
I've made a couple of meetups and people
yeah,
have
you
come to
have.
them. Uh, I
And I
gotta
feel
get
like
there
every time
again.
I see the meetups you do, they're so popular. So, you know, that's why I'm like, girl, a friend, I'm sorry, you might have to make it yourself. So
Okay, okay.
sorry.
Well,
I'm
we'll
so
see.
sorry.
No, no, it's I mean, it's kind of good because I wasn't doing super great with my health for a long time, and now I'm finally sort of feeling back into it. Like
Yeah.
so maybe I just might. Maybe a bitch
You
might.
know, and sometimes it's just super low stakes. Maybe it is that you just do this for um Black History Month,
Hmm.
and then maybe if you feel up to it a little later in the year, maybe in the summer. Well, summer there is crazy because it's so hot. Like
It's so hot.
it's so hot.
See, that's the other thing. The oh my gosh, the heat.
No, I understand. I haven't lived in the South in so long,
Mm,
um, that I forgot when I went to the South because I had to go to Florida in July.
mm,
And I used to live in Florida, but
yep.
I forgot how hot it got. Literally every single day after I was done performing, I passed out asleep
Oh no.
because I just was not used to the heat anymore. Because here in Seattle,
Hmm.
it if it gets like 80, like above like 85, well, honestly, if it gets above like 78, people are complaining because a perfect day in Seattle in the summer is like 75,
Oh,
78. And it's really nice. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like we have amazing summers. And then every now and then it'll peak like in the high 80s, sometimes 90s, and people like literally are like passing out here.
No.
It's it's crazy. So I forgot what summer was like in the South until I had to go back. And I was like,
Mhm.
oh my God, this is why y'all don't do anything outside.
Yeah, because you don't want to broil, you know?
No, it is so hot.
All right. Texas is
DFW has
looking.
so many roller rinks, but they are all so far apart from me. Yeah, Texas is big. I also was in Texas in October and I was like, oh my God, I want to die. It's so hot.
Yeah, Texas has a different type of heat.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, we
My
we
fam
also have a terrible, terrible type of heat too. It's just
I mean, yeah, Georgia's hot.
pick your poison.
Literally. I'm not even gonna lie, like it's nice. People complain about Seattle and the weather. And I'm not gonna lie, when I first moved here, it was kind of a downer.
Hmm.
But I've gotten to the point where I'm okay with the overcastness for multiple months out of the year because we get amazing summers.
Hmm.
Amazing. Like not a cloud in the sky, beautiful blue. It's so comfortable. We get it for like 4.5 months.
Wow. Yeah. No, we get that for like 1 week in March.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Like, being in the South, and I was telling some friends this, I knew obviously there were multiple seasons, but like I feel like in the South you don't have real spring.
Mm-mm.
Like it's spring, like you said, for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then
And then you're just dying.
exactly. I never growing up, I never understood the concept of April showers brings May flowers because I was like, it's just hot in April. There's no rain, you
Right?
know? Um, but now being in Seattle, I'm like, oh, because we actually get all 4 seasons.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let
Georgia
me
voice is the humidity.
truly.
This past month, we had as low as 7 degrees Fahrenheit and as high as 80 degrees within the span of 10 days. See, no,
Oh,
absolutely.
wait. Where do you live, Candy Cloud?
Texas.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Dallas, Fort Worth.
Wow, wow, wow.
We get 2 weeks of spring and 2 weeks of fall. Exactly. Yes, exactly. It is that.
Suffering.
Um, Lunel, I missed your comment if you're still here from a while ago. My family is from all over, but oddly enough, my mom's side of the family is full of skaters. Like my cousin skates, and so does my uncle, who's like 60s, still skates. I love that. Um,
No.
there are so many people who will be like, I'm too old to skate. I'm like, literally, one of my favorite skaters is like almost 80.
Wow.
So you're never too old.
Yeah. Well, I do
Never.
actually, I have very brittle bones, so I probably should not skate. But
That's valid.
um but maybe once that gets fixed, I'll be back.
No, that's valid.
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I've definitely had many a friend who's come to, and I say many because it's been a few,
Mhm.
who will come to the rink, to my home rink with me. will skate for the very first time and have broken something right in front of me.
Stop!
I
That's so
know.
scary.
It is really scary. I'm
Oh
not
my
even gonna
God.
lie. And so that's why I tell people, like, if you know that you're just like maybe just not totally built for it right now, it is okay to like work up to it, you know? Like I didn't realize like sometimes it's like some people just don't have the muscle density to really handle some of the stuff. You know what I mean?
I also
Like,
probably don't have
but that's
that.
why I'm telling you.
Thank you. Thank you for telling me.
This is why I'm telling you.
Oh, well, all right. Maybe I can't get into skating, but maybe I can just go watch and be like a cheerleader on the
I
side.
think you should watch, see how you feel, and then you might be able to figure it out.
Yeah, okay.
I think that that's actually what the issue is that a
Mm,
lot of times it's people who don't and I'm not saying this to be shady. It's just like the amount of difference. Like for me, I've always been very physically active. A lot of my interests require me moving my body a lot. You
mm-hmm.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because of that, I've created muscles and have toned muscles in a way that I never realized. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like playing all that DDR, that's going to do something, you know?
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't do that or have not done that, you know? So
Mm,
then you go to a really active sport like roller skating, it's different. And
mm-hmm.
so then some people are just not equipped, nor do they know, you know? And so, and I've learned that now seeing so many people.
Yeah. Ooh,
So something to take note. I think
yeah.
people just like want to go out there and go crazy. And I'm like, but you don't move.
You
But
can't
you
go
don't move.
from nothing.
I'm scaring Chrissy. I know. I just tell my friends, you know, I like to let them know.
You're scaring me
Um,
with a purpose though.
yes,
It's
the
not.
purpose is to just be aware, you know.
Yes. Okay, hold on. Computer is processing. Okay, we're good. Sometimes my computer is just like, got too much going on.
Oh no, you're good. I'm having fun.
Okay,
Me, I
good,
don't have
good,
the
good.
muscle density. You can that is something that you can easily work on. Um, like I said, it's mostly people I'm like, you don't move. Wait,
But I mean, that is also us.
I don't know if this is a good idea. But yeah,
Too bad. Okay, so just giving you an update where I am with
it looks good.
your wand. I was thinking I might put a ring of pearls around this light pink section. That might be pretty.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna bring in a giant heart. Let me turn off this background so you can really see it. I might bring in a giant heart gem for the front, or you can put the rhinestones on it if you want to.
No,
No?
heart gem.
Okay. Yeah, I might go back in and make these wings a little bit more defined, but that'll probably be the next stream. I love the tiny
Okay.
ones. I feel like I
Yeah,
want a
no, it
little
looks
bit
so good.
more definition in these little ones. Thank you.
I'm obsessed.
Yeah, I can actually import a heart-shaped gem right now if you'd like to see it. Let me grab it because we have yeah, we've done about an hour, so I don't want to like keep you too long. Um, but
I'm literally chilling.
okay.
So it's up to you whenever you want to cut things.
Yeah.
I my job is this. Like
Okay.
I um I'm a full-time artist, which is
Mm.
nice. So I set my own schedules to do what I want to do. And literally my next thing, ooh, first for you guys, my
Woo!
next thing, and I'm working on my original song with one of my producers
Oh my
today.
goodness. That is so exciting.
I'm excited.
Me too. Me too. Yeah, big
I
gem.
love how like approachable and nice you two are. Like I've been following for some time, both of you, and to just chill and stream like this is just so cool. Aw,
Oh,
I'm a loser and you're really admire both of you. You are not a
you're
loser.
not a loser. Wait, where did you say
Never.
that? Who said that? No loser.
You know?
Lunel, you are already cool just because you're in here. You're in the cool
Yeah.
kids club. You gotta
Release it
accept
and I
it.
will stream it for the next 3 months. Um, my hope is that it will be done very soon. That is, I'm very excited.
Mm.
I'm so jealous. I low key feel like I abandoned my creativity and fell into the capitalist scam. That is actually understandable though.
Yeah. Don't beat yourself up on that. Like,
Yeah, do
it's
not beat
rough out
yourself
here.
up.
I forgot how to unlink this thing. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. Here, let me right click
I
that.
recognize too, my I never feel bad about paying rent, that part.
Right?
Um, I also, and I tell people this a lot, like I recognize um I'm in a privileged position
Mm,
where my partner lets me do this. You know what I mean?
right.
Um, she saw how I was my soul was being zapped away by the capitalist hellscape. And she begged me actually to leave my jobs.
Oh,
And it took a really long time for me to be like, okay,
yeah.
I had to be really, really comfortable. And so it's thanks to her, honestly, too, that Magical Melody exists in the capacity that it does.
No, that's so sweet.
Look at that.
Big heart.
I'm obsessed.
Yeah. I got to do a little bit of finagling, but I'm gonna work on it some more. It doesn't have to be. That's the thing. It's like I don't need it to be completely done this stream, but
No, yeah,
um,
for sure.
having it pretty close so you can get an idea of what it's gonna look like.
I am very excited. Ah, I get to carry her around. Y'all are gonna be sick of me.
Yeah. Yeah, so I also this is a new-ish computer that I'm working on. It's not
Okay,
like brand new, but I had to switch because my laptop could no longer handle working in 3D, but
I get that.
it has like a little bit of a different way that it shows appearances. So like in the old one I could show you what gemstones would look like, but here we just have to pretend. We
I
know
see.
that they will be transparent in the end.
Yes,
But for now for now it's just like this. But
I
yeah.
figured. I really wasn't worried.
Okay, good. Let me just go ahead and add these pearls because I want to see them. I want to
Yes.
see them. Oh, oh, get it on the right axis. But
I
yeah,
want to
I
rediscover my creativity and create more art and joy. You can one step at a time.
yeah.
I'm so excited.
I mean, I think the hardest part is like really carving out that time for you because
Yes.
working a 9 to 5 or whatever time you're working, it takes so much time and energy. Um,
Yes.
but I think, being gentle with yourself, um, and acknowledging that you're trying is huge. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes you just have to rest before you can create again. So
Yes. Oh, things I tell myself
yeah,
every day. I get so mad at myself. I'm like, girl, you need to relax.
I know.
I don't know how to relax.
Don't know how. Don't know how. Yeah, honestly, I mean, I was doing a lot of corporate stuff, and I was just like throwing myself into it fully because I didn't think that anything else was possible. And then I got super sick, and I had to literally chill out. Otherwise, my body was making me chill out.
Yeah.
And I think that was kind of like the biggest teacher for me. I just you just have to lay down sometimes, and then after that is when you really find your creativity again.
exactly. For sure.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's good. Cute. Let's see. Yes, this 3D model is going to be 3D printed. That's the plan. Is I will print this out for Miss Mira,
I'm so
and
excited. Oh
she
my
will have
God,
a
look.
brand new magical baton to
Look at
smite
her.
smite her enemies with.
Yes.
And also
Ah, and I
heal
can
them,
actually,
you know?
yeah, and I can actually take it out. And yeah, I guess she does do the Sailor Moon thing where she's not actually killing anybody. She heals
Right.
everybody.
Yeah. But yeah, I think this will be really pretty. Like I said, I'm gonna go back in
Girl.
and define these wings, these big wings, just a little bit more to give it a little more elegance. I might
Look at
put
that.
a ring of pearls around this gold part also. Sorry, I'm hiding it. um, the gold part, because I think that would be
Oh,
really cute.
yeah.
Ring of pearls there. But yeah, that's pretty much what she's gonna look
Wow.
like.
I am so excited. Look at that thing.
Sparkly, very
Thank you.
sparkly.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. So after this, after I like fully finish it and say like I am done, I need to add like do some cuts to it so that it'll fit in my 3D printer. and
Okay.
and then I'll be able to print it for you. So it might take a couple more streams to fully finish it. But I think it's a really great start.
I am so excited.
Do
How
you
big is it gonna be?
how big did you want it to be?
Should I send you measurements of my current one?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think this could be bigger than your current one actually. Just a little bit.
Probably be a little bigger,
Yeah.
honestly. So yeah, because this is like my current one kind of in my hand. So it could be a little bit bigger so that it's a little bit more prominent.
Yeah. Yeah, cuz she's cute, but I want people to see like all of it, you know.
Yes.
The handle comes out a little bit below. Sorry, I'm getting like I'm so obsessed with magical girls. Oh my god.
No, yes.
But yeah, I would want the wings to sit nicely right above your hand and then
Yep.
have the handle come out a little bit and then you see the pearls and the gemstone. Um but yeah, I think she's very cute. It's gonna be so much fun to put her together. Take a picture before I send it out. Ah.
I am so excited. So I have a version 1 of Dolce and a
Yeah.
version 2 of Dolce, which is the one that everyone sees.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be exciting to have a version 1 of the baton
Yes.
and a version 2. And so then I can let this sit with my V1 Dolce.
Oh my God, yeah.
I'm
And it's
excited.
exalted position of safety on
Yes,
a shelf.
exactly.
Oh, that's gonna be so great. I need pictures once I send it, please.
You're literally interviewing a magical girl. Yes.
Yes, that's true.
Would Melody ever have any new magical tools? Oh, for sure. I
Mm,
have quite a few designed for
maybe.
another season.
Oh.
Um, but you know, I gotta get the girl done first. Gotta get her done first. Yeah, kind of like how Sailor Moon has others. Exactly.
Hmm. Cute.
Exactly.
Oh, I love this. I'm just like
I'm so
admiring it now.
excited.
So shiny.
It's so oh, it's gonna be so crazy. Oh, I can't wait. I'm
Well,
gonna be
okay.
annoying.
So the filament that I have isn't shiny, but I could probably just hit it with like a sparkly gloss before I send it out and it'll be like
Okay.
iridescent. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm here for that. Oh, I can't wait.
Yay!
People are gonna be sick of me. I'm
Nah,
gonna
they'll
tell
love it.
you. Yeah.
I'll make sure they love it.
Oh my goodness, I'm just gonna be in people's faces. Like, look at me. Magical girl.
Yes. Ugh, I love that. And that's all I want. I want everyone to be their most magical and make their dreams come true and be obnoxious. All
No, this is perfect.
right, I'm gonna do one more tweak and then I think I'm gonna call it because it's I
Okay.
want the wings to be chunkier back here.
Oh, I
Um,
see. Yeah.
which one was the wings? This one, two side.
Oh, that's good. This will be so cool. Ah,
Yeah, there we go. Cute,
okay.
lovely. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yep.
I'm into it. She's so
Same.
cute.
The process is
Yay!
really cool to watch. That's why I was like, I'm like in it. Like,
Thank you. Yeah, I thought that it would be interesting for people to see how stuff is made and um usually in my streams where I don't have someone to interview, I always say feel free to ask questions. Because I just think 3D modeling is so interesting. And it doesn't have to be super intimidating. It can be pretty chill to learn. But yeah.
I definitely am one of those people where 3D modeling feels very intimidating. So it's really cool. I love
Mm.
this.
Yeah, I mean, it also depends on how your brain works, right? Some people
Yeah.
are better at free form sculpture, and some people are better at more technical things like this. But yeah, I just want to encourage everyone to be creative and do cool stuff.
They did make this so fast. I agree.
Thank you. I was getting distracted too. I was like, wait, I got to interview. Wait, I got to lock in.
Nah,
Wait.
you're good. I told you I'm a certified yapper, so I can just yap.
Yeah. Well, I just really I'm so thankful that you came onto my stream and agreed to do this with me and agreed to let me shower you with love and praise and a new magical wand.
Thank you for having me. This was so fun. And
Yeah.
it was, of course, fantastic talking to you. I'm happy we finally got to meet each other. Like, I
Yeah,
still didn't really
totally.
get to see you,
Well,
but you know, it's okay.
yeah, I don't have a camera on this computer and also I'm low key sitting in the dark right now. but but maybe next time. Maybe next time we
Yeah,
can do a little video chat together.
absolutely. And it was fun talking to chat as well. Thank you for all of your
Yes.
questions. And um, I can't wait. I can't wait for this.
Well, you're gonna have to wait because next week
No, yeah, that's true. That's true. I have to.
is a different special guest. So stay tuned for that. Wah! But then I'll come back and work on yours again later.
Yay.
But yes, thank you everyone for coming. This was so much fun. Thank you all for talking to us. Thank you to Magical Melody for being amazing. And I hope that everyone has a great rest of their day.
Yes.
Yay! Okay, bye everybody. I'll see you
Thank
guys next
you.
time. Yeah, yeah.